The halfway stage of the Amgen Tour of California and the longest of the week at 135 miles or 217 kilometers. It would follow the Pacific Highway, some of the most beautiful scenery in the world. The riders are leaving here from Morro Bay, bound for the racetrack at Laguna, just on the outskirts of Monterey.
Amgen Tour of California came to Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca here in Monterey County. We couldn't be more pleased with the turnout. Not only the people and the spectators along the roads, but close to 5,000 people who were inside Mazda Raceway. Phenomenal. And I think the vendors were really pleased because so many people were looking at all the attractions that were there, and the excitement of coming over Lorella's grade and then climbing up the hill into the track and then going through the corkscrew and the finish line, I think was just tremendous. And everybody just followed the crowd around everywhere they went. So you had this big peloton coming through and the spectators following the peloton, and the big credenzo was the finish right there at the finish line. They hung around a little bit, they spent a little bit of money. Unfortunately, they had to pack up and take off for their next site, so we didn't get as many hotel nights as we wanted, but still we got the prestige, we got international TV coverage, we had pros competing here at our famous Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca and here in Monterey County, and of course the Big Sur coastline. There was nothing more beautiful than that.
Amazing. The scenery is beautiful.
It will be a virtual postcard of California.
There's no better place on the planet to ride.
This is actually a huge benefit for the cycling industry, our business, and the area. So with definitely helping to promote bicycle sales, apparel, clothing, but it also helps out our economy. So it's also a way for us to give back and support local people to come out, enjoy, see what we have to offer, and actually enjoy a whole bunch of cycling and the weather, so it's good.
The Amgen Tour of California provides a lot of exposure internationally, nationally, locally. People that are interested in biking who may not really know too much about the facility, this is a way they become familiar with it. So it is being televised on NBC.
Welcome to stage 4 of the Tour of California.
There couldn't be anything, I think, more beautiful than holding a stage along Highway 1 and having Highway 1 closed, so the riders really have the beauty and the stretch, and it's a phenomenal road without cars on it.
The peloton enjoying a look across the Pacific Ocean as they crossed here the Bixby Bridge were holding the riders in check. They knew at the end of the day there were two very sharp hills.
And then you have the change in topography. You're going from ocean to inland dry chaparral, going up a hill, coming back down another hill, which is very exciting. So much a 1,000-foot gain and descent. And then you climb up into another dry chaparral environment at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca.
And as they were going up the Lorella's grade, only one rider was setting the pace, Daniel.
Yes, and he had a 30-second advantage, and he pressed on to the top of the climb, facing up to a 60-mile-an-hour descent onto the motor racing circuit at Laguna Seca. The motor racing circuit, the Mazda circuit, just outside of Monterey Bay.
He made the horseshoe switch back there onto the circuit. Then he would face a 16% climb, and that was to prove one hill too far. What was left of the peloton, about 20 of them, that was all, picked him up. Then came a series of attacks. The first one by Guerrero, the teammate of Daniel, who was still trying to finish it off for the Young Action team.
So the diversity of it makes it, I think, great for the spectators because there's lots of places where they can view. It makes it even better for the riders because they're getting a change in weather, change in elevation, and a change in race road conditions, and they love the challenge of the change.
We follow the tour, so we set up at every finished stage, or every finished festival.
We started in San Diego. We're going to every single stage. So we started last Sunday, and we're almost halfway through the tour and get to hang out in beautiful Laguna Seca and Monterey, so we're excited about that.
I love coming to Monterey. We come for the Sea Otter Classic every year. And I was so excited that the Tour of California was coming through Monterey because I absolutely love it. I love Tarpee's. It's my favorite restaurant in the whole world, and it's just a great place.
We stayed down at Lighthouse Point last night, so we got to filled a couple hotel rooms, went to dinner. Got to walk around a little bit this morning, and we're here a couple times a year for multiple events. We come here for Sea Otter as well every single year, and you know, we get to spend almost a whole week here during Sea Otter, so that's really wonderful. So actually, I mentioned to some of the staff earlier how much we love coming to events here at the Laguna Seca Raceway.
There's a lot of involvement in putting an event of this size together. Scram took the lead on the event because it's using the track, and of course there are concessionaire for the track rentals, and their staff put a lot of time into it. And as far as the county, you know, RMA helping with getting the permits done, the health department with making inspections, regional fire and, you know, doing inspections and things like that, encroachment permits from CHP, Public Works. It really takes a lot of different organizations and different people to put on something of this stature.
Julian Alaphilippe in the yellow jersey. He'd got a 3-second time bonus very early on, was finishing with the group, but he was scrabbling at the back as the sprint began by Nathan Haas. Haas looked very strong, but sitting in his slipstream, Peter Sagan, and then on the left shoulder, as we look here, came Greg Van Avermaet. But on the line, Sagan won his second stage out of 4 possibilities and has now pushed his win tally historically to 15 stage victories in this event.
But after a cut and thrust fight to the line, there was no real change in the overall standings as Peter Sagan enjoyed the victory of the stage. Behind, most of the contenders were pretty much together.
What a day this man had. He picked up a 3-second time bonus, finished in the same time as the other 9 riders alongside him. He's actually increased his overall lead tonight by 3 seconds.
We would love to be selected again for Amgen to select us. Every dollar brought in by a visitor will multiply and spread or trickle down through our local economy 2 times. And we really appreciate that, and that's the economic engine that Amgen brings to town to us.